welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Welcome if you're new here. If you are new here, myself, my husband, and our two daughters have been living here in Ireland for about a year and a half. We moved over from the States. My husband is from Ireland. He was born and raised here, but he lived in the States for 10 years. Our daughters are 6 and 9, and yeah, we live here now. So as you can see from the title of this video, I'm going to be going over the foods that I miss from the grocery stores in the States. Disclaimer, none of them are necessarily that healthy or nutritional, so please don't comfort me. It's not like our diet fully consisted of these things, and this is just a bit for fun because, of course, we have a good food selection over here. And these are mostly just kind of little silly things. Sometimes it's the convenience of something that I really miss and things that you're just used to having around. And just a quick side note, I will put the footage at the end of this video if you want to stick around all the way to the end and watch it. It's so funny that I happened to receive this package today, but my grandpa and Kim's my grandpa's wife, they sent over a package from the States, and I didn't know what it was, but I got it today, and it's some of my favorite American foods. So it was really cute and really fun to receive that package. And if you want to see what's in it, just watch at the end of the video. So the first thing is iced coffee. I used to buy the Starbucks, pre-made iced coffee in the refrigerated section. I would also buy the Dunkin' Donuts coffee as well, and I just really miss those. I'm an iced coffee girly in general, and the convenience of having it made for you. I know it's probably technically expensive compared to if you just made it at home and put it in the fridge yourself. And I know that cold brew coffee is actually pretty simple and easy to make as well, and it's technically quick. You do have to set it there, but the actual preparation time is super quick. But there's just something about convenience, and I think everyone can get that to some degree. I really genuinely liked having those around. They were kind of technically pricey for what they were, but I miss it. And that'll bring me to my second thing, which is coffee creamer. In the States, first of all, there's such a variety. There's just regular old coffee creamer, and then there's all the flavors, and then there's even different milk substitutes like almond milk coffee creamer, oat milk, different kinds of options there, all different sorts of flavors. And then over here, the best you can really do is like just your regular heavy whipping cream. I did eventually find some flavored coffee syrups, vanilla and hazelnut. And the classic, it's the brand that starts with an M. It's a pretty classic coffee syrup brand. I think it's the kind they use at Starbucks. So those are definitely nice to have too, but there's something that's like a notch easier and just a little bit more convenience just having the actual little jug of coffee creamer that I miss having around. Next thing is boxed mac and cheese. There's the classic Kraft blue box, there's Annie's, there's the store brand, there's shells and spirals and white cheddar and all sorts of different variations, and those are handy to have around. They're nice kind of for a quick lunch with the kids, and definitely something I miss. They were part of my childhood. I feel like somewhat of a classic thing to have in the house growing up in the States. And they don't have anything like that here. And the next thing is Stouffers mac and cheese, which in the States you find in the frozen section. You can bake it or pop it in the microwave. I always found them to be so tasty. And the cheese around the edge of the container that gets like burnt and like crisp, and I really miss those. I always had like a couple on hand in my freezer just for something quick and easy to eat, even as like sort of like a snack. I miss having those around. The next thing is minced garlic, but I should say I'm only mentioning that because I've mentioned it in videos before, and I think it was somebody in my comments told me, and I had one of my friends message me that they saw it at Lidl, the jar of minced garlic. But this is the one from the States that I just had trouble finding anything like it for a while. And then now also they have frozen minced garlic at Dunn's, which is also a really nice option too. So I guess I really shouldn't be adding that on the list, but it was difficult for me to find for a little while. The next thing is pigs in a blanket, which I guess I can't say that you can't do that here, but the convenience of the items and the way they are in the States is just not the same here. Like they don't have the rolls of the Pillsbury crescent dough, and then even the little cocktail sausages you just wouldn't find in the same fashion. And actually, I should note that I think over here, if you said to an Irish person, should I make some pigs in a blanket, they think of it as the little cocktail sausages but wrapped in bacon, I'm pretty sure, which is good too. But yeah, that was a favorite of Molly's, and they're quick and easy to make, so I just had to mention that as well. Okay, again, I feel like this is maybe not fair that I have this on the list because I just found it only recently though, but is cinnamon rolls. I used to like to buy, not really that often, but once in a while, the Pillsbury, the roll of them where you like pop it open and you take the cinnamon rolls out and you put them on a pan, and it comes with a little pre-prepared icing that you put on after you take them out of the oven. Those are so good, and I really missed those, but actually just within the past couple months, I saw that Dunn's now has a bag of 4 frozen cinnamon rolls that don't come with icing, but I started making the icing at home because it's so easy. It's just powdered sugar and a dash of milk, and you just whisk it up. And I've been making those, and they're literally divine. It's actually probably better than the ones in the States, actually. But I just don't know if those are going to be around year round, or if they're more so of a seasonal item or a winter item, because I'll say that that's sometimes how certain items tend to be over here a little bit more than the States. There's just some things you could see and you can like, and you can kind of guess that maybe you're not going to be able to find it year round or all the time or every time you go back to the store. But those, I will really genuinely be sad if they go away for any period of time, because it was truly like better than getting them fresh out of the oven at Cinnabon or something. Next thing is 2 forms of Cheetos. The crunchy Cheetos and the natural white cheddar Cheetos. And I didn't ever buy the natural white cheddar Cheetos because they were marketed as natural or a healthier option. It was just the white cheddar flavor was so good to me. I actually started eating them when I was like in my later teens, because I always remember this one time that like, I don't know, one of my parents bought them and I ate the whole like large bag of them in one sitting. I don't know what it is about them, but I just loved them. And I'm not much of a chips kind of snacky girl when I want a snack. But yeah, the natural white cheddar Cheetos and the crunchy Cheetos, though, would be my go-to snacks when it comes to chip style snacks. So I definitely do miss having those around. Oh, I have mozzarella sticks here, but you can find mozzarella sticks sometimes. But it's like what I said with the cinnamon rolls. You could go like 5 months and not see them at the grocery store, and then all of a sudden they're there for a couple months. So I kind of keeping them on the list. I like to eat them and dip them in ranch. Kiva loves them. Kiva and I are kind of similar, and like when we want a snack, we're still more of like a warm foods kind of people, like not really much for chips and dry snacks like that. We kind of want more of like an actual, like, I don't know, cooked food. So I like having those around for her. And actually, because they're frozen, I'd like to stock up a little bit more than I usually do, but we don't have a lot of freezer space. Next thing, this is a little bit random, maybe not random, but particular, but it's the Tortilla Land Tortillas. I think Kroger did a Kroger brand version of these as well, but they're tortillas that you buy uncooked and then you cook them at home. You just like warm up a pan and cook them for like a minute or 2 on each side, and they're just so tasty. It really did make a difference cooking them at home. Like they just, you know, tasted fresher and better. And over the past several months before we moved here, they were something that I always had on hand in our fridge in the States. Next thing is ranch, which also, sorry, now I feel silly because this is like the 3rd or 4th time that I've said this, but actually within the past couple of months, I did see a buttermilk ranch at Dunn's as well, but I'll still keep it in because there was like a year that I didn't see it at all, and it's definitely much less common. I happen to have the Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning that I had one of my best friends bring over from the States, and I like that better anyways, and that they don't have over here. But you add, you know, your fresh mayo and milk from home and then the seasoning, and it's just like 10 times better than the bottles or jars of ranch anyways. And then the next thing is another snack, and that is CheezIts. They don't have CheezIts over here at all. My favorite, I'd have to say, were the white cheddar ones. There was a phase I had where I liked the grooves, the white cheddar grooves. It was back when Molly, I think I was breastfeeding Molly, and I just always craved those and could eat like half a box. Those are kind of a nice snack too that I miss having. Next is Capri Sun flavors other than orange. They do have Capri Sun over here, but they only ever have the orange flavor, or at least as far as I have seen. And in the States, I want to say there'd be like, I don't know, a variety of like 4 to 6 different flavors. Kiva's the only one of us that likes those anyway, so it only affects the one of us. And there is a juice over here. She likes the Robinson's Fruit Shoots, the blackcurrant flavor. So she does have something to make up for it. But yeah, she misses the other flavors of Capri Sun. The next thing is cookie dough. I guess specifically the cookie dough break and bake, but in the States there's different, it's not just the break and bake squares. You can get like the tube of cookie dough or like a little tub of it and stuff too, but I would get the Nestle Toll House break and bake squares, and they're just really nice. It takes the steps of making the homemade cookie dough off your plate, and you can just break those apart, put them in the oven, and they taste just as good and as fresh as if you were to make a fresh batch yourself. I mean, maybe that's a stretch. Maybe it'd be better if you made them from scratch, but they are really good for the convenience element that they bring to the table as well. They're a good fresh baked cookie. And then Gary had me put this one on the list. It's the Rockstar energy drinks. They do have energy drinks over here, just not quite the variety like they do in the States. I used to like I think it was 2 or 3 different. Did I say Rockstar or did I say Red Bull? I meant Rockstar. Did I say Red Bull? There was a couple, 2 to 3 different varieties of there was 2 or 3 different Rockstar cans or flavors or types of Rockstar that he used to like to drink. But I will say it's probably for the better that he doesn't drink those, because he would drink them frequently enough, and everything, in moderation, of course, but sometimes the more frequent, obviously, you're consuming something that's not so great for you, becomes not as good. This is actually editing stuff because I did forget something, but I wanted to say fruit snacks from the States that I miss. They do have things here that are like fruit snacks, but there was something about the individually portioned little packets that were so convenient, especially for lunches. And I know that might sound like a lazy sort of thing, but I genuinely liked the way that the boxes of fruit snacks came in the States in comparison to what we can get here. But there are something similar and they are good. Okay, that wraps up my list. You know what? I don't know why I wrote this down because it's not really a grocery store item, but I had wrote down Starbucks egg bites, the little circular egg bites. Those were amazing. I loved getting those. They came in a little pack of 2, and I could have literally ate like probably 4 or 6 of them if they weren't $5 for 2 little egg bites. But those are really good. I guess I'll leave that in there because there oftentimes is a Starbucks in the grocery store. And if you're from Ireland and you're listening and some of the items I've mentioned you've seen somewhere, definitely leave a comment below. I've had that happen just in even my vlogs. When I mention something, somebody's pointed out somewhere that they've seen it before, which is really nice. So if you have seen them, let me know down below. Okay, you guys didn't even know I was gone, but I just had a little technical difficulty. So I'm back. So I've wrapped up the foods that I miss finding in the grocery stores in the States. And now I'm just gonna do just a few honorable mentions of things that I like better over here in Ireland. And they're mostly not things that you can't find in the States. They're just things that I think they do better over here. And this one, number 1, coming in very strong, is frozen pizzas or even just pre-prepared pizzas, because in the deli section, they'll have pizzas and they're not frozen. They're just kind of actually fresh prepared daily, and you can take them home and bake them. But actually the Dunn's frozen pizza is my favorite overall. I like it better even than the Dunn's pre-prepared refrigerated pizza because the crust is a little bit softer and better. But yeah, they just taste better. I feel like in the States when you get a frozen pizza, it just has a taste to it. You just know it's a frozen pizza. And I feel like you just don't get that over here. I feel like they taste much closer to if you were to, order pizza from a pizza place and have it delivered to your house. Okay, and then along with frozen pizza, I think the frozen French fries are better over here as well. The next thing I wanted to say is the amount of like pre-prepared or pre-portioned or pre-marinated foods that you can get over here in Ireland. There's better selection, even just, I would say even just at the grocery store. But something else that's different is there's a lot of different butcher's shops over here. And within the butcher shops, there's a lot of pre-packaged, pre-portioned, pre-marinated, pre-seasoned, pre-sauced, different kinds of meats, different kinds of sides, just different selections. And so it's still fresh food, but you're basically just taking it home, taking off the plastic wrap and putting it in the oven. So it's just really convenient and there's a good bit of options there. And that's not to say that there's not that in the States, but I just think it's a little bit different here. I'm gonna try to wrap it up. The lighting's getting really bad. I'm having technical difficulties. I'm gonna wrap it up with this little honorable mention for Gary, because I have like what I think is a semi-funny little story, but you may have heard of it if you are from the States, because if you go anywhere that serves a full traditional Irish breakfast, you might have come across it. I would get asked the question when I worked at the Irish restaurant and somebody ordered the breakfast, and that is black and white pudding, which is actually a breakfast meat. I think it's actually like pig's intestines or pig's blood or something. We don't really buy that too often, but there's this one butcher's in particular that we like. I think it's the white pudding. I only ever eat it if we get it from this one butcher's because I like the texture better there and it's more flavorful. It's like, it's got a nice blend of spices for breakfast. But my funny story is when Kiva was under 1 year old and it was Mary, Gary's mom's first time visiting us, he had her buy the pudding fresh from the butcher's, freeze it, pack it in her suitcase and bring it over to the States so that he could enjoy it like the first day that she was there. Which is funny because it's one thing to like, you know, bring a little tub of ranch seasoning, but raw pig's intestines is kind of funny to have your mom bring over, but it's cute. And if you know Gary, you probably wouldn't be surprised. You know, there's different like crisps, chips selection over here. There was little things Gary missed, and if he'd come across and find randomly in the States, he would be really happy that he found them, like King Crisps or the Tato cheese and onion. And then also Brennan's bread, which is, I suppose, similar to like a Wonder Bread or a bread of that kind of variety, but it is fresher and it is better. And I think it's like less sweet and maybe preservative tasting than a similar type of bread that you would find in the States. I like buying fresh sourdough from like the bakery section. Okay, I really have to wrap it up here now. Chat with me down in the comments below. Is there something I'm forgetting? Is there something you know you would miss? Is there something you want to ask if they have here? If you're Irish and there's something I said that you've seen somewhere, let me know about that. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye. Hey guys, I have a package here that's so long awaited. Basically my grandpa and Kim, they sent it over from the States probably over a month ago now. She was told that it was going to get here quicker than it did. I'll try. I don't want to show obviously our address. This is it. I actually accidentally saw the little customs note, so I know what it is, but I'm super excited. One interesting, not so nice thing to know is that this package was $100 for her to ship, and then I paid €32 for customs. And there's actually two packages. Only one came today, so it was like 64 total. Okay. Crunchy Cheetos. Once in a while I've found Cheetos here, but they're not the crunchy kind, and they're not as good as the ones in the States. So 2 packs of those, and oh my god, ranch. I'm stuffed.
Another one of these. There's so many of these ones.
deluxe. The deluxe mac and cheese. Oh my God. This is gonna be my thumbnail. That's it. Oh my God, what a surprise. We're definitely gonna go make this literally immediately. I'm gonna make 2 boxes because I could probably eat a box myself. I didn't know that she was doing this. I knew that she was sending something over, but like, you know, it was a surprise. But like once I collected the box, I went to my mother-in-law's house. I did happen to see, just as I was putting it in my car, just the little label on the side where she has to write what's in the package. Like you just have to do that shipping when you're shipping things, or maybe just shipping internationally. So it was still a surprise, but I kind of had an idea what was coming as I was opening it. But I really do miss boxed mac and cheese. It's just like, it's not like we ate it all the time, but it's just something nice to have around the house because it's quick and easy.